Hi guys, please enjoy this Vagrein clip from a participant session. I think it's really an interesting topic and explains how we don't need to feel bad about the bad things that are happening in the world. We don't need to feel bad when other people feel bad. In fact, it's our job to feel good, not when they're feeling bad because we want to make them feel bad, but because in us not adopting the vibration that other people are perhaps transmitting, we can hold space for them. We can be more compassionate and we can participate in the healing of humanity. So please enjoy this clip and do let me know what you think. Leave me a comment. I love responding to comments, and as long as I can, I will. And so see you again soon.
I feel that I'm definitely in awakening and realization of the truth of who I am. And anything further that you can provide to continue to assist in that journey.
Yes, there are so many directions in which one can take their journeying or adventuring or seeking, that the sharing that we could provide is that one, you may choose what feels most resonant to you. And often when people are where you are finding yourself now, in that you feel confident that the journey is underway, that your bags are packed, that they are slung over your shoulder, and you have been headed in a direction or in many directions for some time, that your awakening is occurring in its natural unfolding, we ask you what it is that you would think is keeping you from the realization or making you believe that this is a journey that takes either time or energy or effort, as opposed to that sudden and spontaneous awakening that is, at times, you have heard of this, occurring to those around you or to others upon the path.
I'm not sure. I do feel like there is some resistance, but I haven't yet been able to identify what that is. So therefore, it does feel like a journey versus a spontaneous awakening. So I'm not sure if it's fear of what other people might think or say. So I'm not exactly sure what the resistance is.
Yes, well, you have named one that you would have not named had it not been in some manner, in some measure, relevant to you. So there is that slight trepidation or discomfort at the idea that some group or community or peer situation might judge you. So there is some fear of judgment, but we would ask you what it is that you believe that you would be once awakening does take root, or once your realization of self, as you said, does take root, that you think would be uncomfortable for these other beings. In other words, in which ways would you change that would then trigger this judgment in the other selves?
I think it's just the belief that life doesn't have to be hard, that you don't have to work so hard and strive so hard. I'm surrounded, and I myself participated in that for so many years. So I'm really surrounded by that thinking. And so to move away from that, while I can do that for myself, to then apply that in my world as my work, I guess the judgment is that they would think that I'm lazy or crazy, or I don't know. I don't really know what the judgment is, but I do believe that life is meant to be easy and graceful and full of joy, and it's not meant to be hard, and it's not meant to be sad. But I feel that that's so foreign to how everyone thinks around me.
Yes, we would ask you in those times that you have seen examples of beings who do live from that state of your new belief, not necessarily new, but you did say that you were in that same old paradigm for some time. This new belief that life can be easy, that you can get you what you want, that you do deserve to be happy. Can you recall of ever witnessing another being who is already living from that state of ease, bliss, joy, and contentment?
So I in the last 2 years, I have really put myself into communities of people who are living in this vein, but yet I do feel like I keep that kind of to myself. It's a big part of my life. It's a big part of my daily life, but yet it's kind of secretive just to me. But I am exposed often to people who are living kind of in this fifth dimension, as some people would call it, heaven on earth kind of. So I do get examples of that, and I myself also see examples of that in my own life. But like I said, it's just for me, which I think is okay, but maybe that's where the resistance is coming in.
Yes, and we will say that when you first began your journey, or you first had this inkling that perhaps there was a way that was more serving to you to perceive of existence, this of thinking that things are easier than the majority believe them to be, you did see, witness, or experience these beings who are already living from that state, and you did not judge them. You used them as inspiration or as a curiosity for what could be next for you, did you not?
Yeah, that's
Therefore, what we are proposing to you is that there is a possibility that in your life, in your direct circle of beings who know you, there is a being within that group who is simply waiting for inspiration in the form of someone they know living from that state of ease and peace and joy in order to begin their precious journey. You withholding this information, or not even this information, but the ease in the acceptance of the new state that you are in. Because if you have ease in knowing life is easy for you, the last piece of ease that you are wanting is the ease to allow yourself to adopt this new identity that feels far better than the one of life is suffering hard and we work and work and work until we die. So there is someone in your circles, someone in your experience, your children, you did say you had children, that would benefit directly by you beginning to live from that state of ease, bliss, peace, and joy in an open manner. It does not mean that you have to teach and tell them this is how they should be. Your living from that space directly would be an example to them. And if they were to come to you and said, what is your secret for being joyful all the time? Well, then that is your invitation, an opening to begin to explain to them that you have seen and witnessed other beings who are having fruitful, abundant, passionate, exciting, blissful lives, simply by accepting that that is possible for them. And then this person may have something sparked in their consciousness, a remembering that they too come from this divine worthiness that allows them to understand their intrinsic value and the merits that they hold in order to have this easy, peaceful, blissful life, simply by adopting that it can be so. So we understand that you are undercover in this now moment, that you are perhaps still pretending to have the difficulties that you have in life, dreading Monday, for example, or commiserating with people when they say this, that, and the other thing, the world is going badly. You secretly know this is not the case, but have conversations in which you agree with them and say, yes, we are all victims. Yes, poor you, poor me, poor all of us. Yes, we are in this state of perpetual efforting. And somewhere within you, you know this not to be true, but you are not offering these people the gift of the alternative, simply because it is not what is the mainstream in this now. You do, however, also want to change the world in that. You do want that world where everyone knows that there is ease and effortlessness available to them with their love, with their light. And so, if you do not choose to be a part of that next tomorrow, in this now, you are simply putting off what you truly want. The judgment of those around you, you can withstand. They may think you are crazy. They may think that you are lazy. You use these words, but you know that they are crazy. You know that they are putting far more effort than is necessary to do any such thing that they would choose. That if they were to believe in synchronicity, they would see miracles occurring all around them. If they were to believe that the universe was working for them, they would see their challenges as opportunities. But instead of allowing yourself to acknowledge that it is not you who is incorrect, but the majority who is still stuck in that old version, you are remaining there only for as long as you choose, because you are expressing that there is some fear. Now, our next question to you would be, when will you be ready to let go of this fear?
Yeah, I am ready. I think that's what's drawn me to you and drawn me to the communities of people who have let go of that fear. I think I've been ready for a long time, and it's a matter of allowing and receiving and letting go of the guilt of. So when something happens, like the fires in Maui, I'm from Hawaii. And so, of course, everyone is contacting me. I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh, this is horrible. This is terrible. And having a different perspective, having kind of the higher perspective on that, while sure, for the humans and the beings that are experiencing it, there is pain and suffering, but there is a grander perspective. And so I wasn't feeling that depth of sadness and it's horrible, but yet some part of me felt bad for not feeling bad. So I'm trying to let that go. Or when someone transitions, oh my gosh, that was so horrible. So learning how to live from that place of compassion for the humans and the human experience, but still staying grounded in the truth and the knowing that this is not a sad occasion, but being able to express that in a way that I don't want to use the word accepted, but it's not confrontational to other people. It's not coming from a place that's still from compassion, but not getting pulled down into what I know is not the truth.
Yes, so what you described is akin to survivor's guilt, in that when there is for example, tragedy where many do not or do lose their lives, and then someone goes on to live, especially if the majority have, and one continues onward from an accident, for example, it is often very difficult for that person to experience the gratitude of having passed through that experience and having come out the other side. But what does tend to happen through the healing process with that person is, at some point, we would hope, they hope, that they come to the realization that the only way to honor the victims of what has occurred to them is to live their life as if they were living it for all 100 people, for example, who had passed. Mm-hmm. Therefore, that person can choose to, yes, linger in the guilt and say, I don't understand why I survived and they died. I feel guilty. It should have been me. It would have been easier if it had been me. Imagine all those X, Ys, and Zs who could have had full lives, and here I am, and I cannot even get off the couch, etc., because the emotions are not allowing them to accept the gratitude that they are being offered. They are those that can at some point realize, okay, this occurred, and now I will devote my life to ensuring this example of tragedy never occurs again. I will start a charity to ensure this does not happen. I will make awareness to ensure this does not happen, etc., or simply I will raise my children with a devout love and appreciation, etc. I will be the best business owner I could possibly be. I will care for my pet. I will be nice to the people in the grocery store. And they choose to live their life from a space of, I get to be here, not only for me, but for all 100. We would say that it might be well for you to think of your awakening process somewhat in the same way as having been spared from a tragedy. And you see all around you people thrashing, for example, when they are calling you and they're saying, this is horrible, the horror of what has occurred. They are thrashing and drowning in a dark sea. And you somehow, by some miracle, have found a life raft and know that you will not die in this murky waters. And you see them, yes, thrashing in that sea or passing in that sea for those who cannot or refuse to or choose not to take the edge of your boat. And instead of saying, I will stay here at sea and be here and drown with them, we say, head for shore and live the lives for them. Be that light for those beings who cannot. Yes, you must have compassion, and this will come with practice. You will make mistakes when you begin to speak your truth to people. Some people will think you are insensitive. Some people will think you are cold. Some people will think you are cruel for not agreeing with them that there are villains and victims in situations. Some people will think that you are cruel by calling their challenge an opportunity. And you will learn which words are appropriate to use in which times. You will learn when someone needs a hug and not your words. You will learn when you can open the door to ask someone to see something from a different perspective. This is where you learn discernment, which is what you are being offered to learn in this now moment by having this difficulty. So as you meet these challenges, someone is in a state of ill-being and come to you and say many words that they would like you to agree with, do not agree. It does not mean you have to be cold. It does not mean you have to be callous. It does not mean you even have to teach them. Agree that they are in pain, yes. Agree that they need love, yes. But you do not need to agree with their idea of cause and effect, victimization, and circumstance. This is something that, again, with practice, you will come to understand how to navigate more fully.
Yeah, that resonates deeply. And I do feel that I'm having, as I'm choosing to learn this and grow in this discernment, I do feel that more opportunities to practice are coming up in my life to give, this opportunity for that. So I do discernment, like you said, I do think with practice that piece of it will become easier. And I do think that maybe the start of coming, so to say, out of the closet, or, out of being undercover, just in how I respond and react in my daily life to situations and to people around, as a way to start shining my light brighter and opening up that showing of there is a different way.
Yes. And we will give you 2 sentences that you can share that will always be true. You can share with someone who is suffering, I understand what you are feeling, and without saying you are correct. Yes, they are correct to feel the way that they are from their perspective, but whatever they are sharing with you is not necessarily correct, because if it were, they would not be feeling that way in the first place. So when someone does come and share with you and has an emotional experience, you are safe to say, I know how you are feeling. I understand how you are feeling. I am with you. I am here to listen. But we would say that the first sentence that one can begin to let go of is the sentence of confirmation of the limiting beliefs that the other person is holding.
Mm. Yeah, that does make sense. I definitely can incorporate that. And I look forward to opportunities to practice and continue to grow in this way.
Yes.
Thank you for watching this Vagrein clip. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it made sense and that it helped you to understand or shift something within yourself. Something feels better than it did a couple minutes ago. Please make sure you like and subscribe, and do hit the bell icon, because I have been known to have spontaneous live Vagrein sessions, and I don't really give much notice for those. But if you have the bell icon ticked on your subscription, then you'll be notified probably to your phone when I go live, and then I can see you in person. If you don't want to do that, I do have some live events coming up in November and December. So please check those out at www.jpherman.com/events. And I will see you there live and in person with Vagrein. Okay, bye.